Do you have a backup plan, a plan B, in case plan A doesn't work out? I know my parents always encourage me to have a plan B, but think about it for a minute. What does that do to your commitment to what you're working on right now? Is there something to be said for selling out to a plan with no room for failure, burning the bridges? Would you have a plan B in a healthy marriage? Probably not. What about your kids? Would you have an alternative set of kids around in case they don't work out? No, there's something to be said for commitment. That's what I'll be talking about with my guest, Honoree Corder, on today's One Simple Thing.
It's time to build a better business by building a better you. This is One Simple Thing.
Welcome back to the show. Dave Kirby here with you as we get set for another One Simple Thing. We've got a great program scheduled here with Honoree Corder. She is best-selling author of more than a dozen books, including her hit book, Vision to Reality, How Short-Term Massive Action Equals Long-Term Maximum Results. Her book has become a must-read for every business professional who wants to go to the next level. So make sure you check out a copy of her book. We have a link to it on our website. Just go to onesimplething.online.com. You'll see the link to her book right there on the front page. Let's get Honoree into the show now. Honoree, thank you for being here on today's One Simple Thing.
I love being on the One Simple Thing podcast. It's the most fun ever.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. Maybe having one of your neighbor's cupcakes is the most fun thing ever.
Well, if I had the cupcake and was on the One Simple Thing podcast, I might spontaneously combust.
And if you're wondering about her neighbor's cupcakes, you need to go back and listen to the last episode. Anyway, let's get into it. Chapter 2 of your book is called What is Possible? Do you believe that most of us drastically underestimate what is possible in and through us?
I do. I think people do not live to their full potential, and it makes me a little crazy.
Do you live to your full potential?
I'm not sure. This is recorded forever and ever, amen. So I'm not going to cop to anything, but I think I'm on the cusp of figuring it out. I don't know that I do it. I don't know that I don't do it. I just know that I see so many people. So let's take it off of me, right? I see a lot of people not acting out of power. They act out of fear. And so that makes me a little crazy, because when I can get someone to shed that and really commit to themselves and move forward, what they're able to accomplish is amazing. And they're pretty proud of themselves too. I like that part.
You know, I will fully admit I'm not living to my full potential, which is why I'm so grateful for guests like you, because I'm learning along with the audience here. And I want to talk just for a moment here, and I know we're going to talk about commitment today, but I want to talk just a little bit. We're going to talk about this more later on in another episode, but the power of belief in getting the results we desire. You say there's two things in your book. You talk about we have to believe we can, and then we have to believe we deserve to get what we desire, right?
Yes.
The first one is hard enough. The second one is almost impossible for some of us.
It is. It is. But if someone else deserves it, why don't you? That's my question. I don't think that there are special people that were born under some special or magical star, so they deserve more than the next person. I think the person who achieves to their potential or close to it believes that whatever they want is possible for them, and they believe that they deserve it. Not more than another person, but they deserve it if they're willing to work for it and commit to it and do what's necessary to make it happen.
The people who do achieve what they want, are they? Because I know for me, a lot of times I look back at my failures or the things that I've done or whatever, and that's what convinces me I don't deserve to go forward, right? The people that achieve what they want, do they still have those regrets in their lives too, but they have the ability to look past them and get beyond them?
I think there's a difference. Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes. I think you can stay focused and looking in the rearview mirror and full of regret, or you can say some variation of it is what it is. And I'm going to make the most of what's happening from this point forward.
And then, and this is kind of what we want to get into today, then you got to commit to that, right?
Yes. Yes. So there are varying levels of commitment, which I'm guessing you're going to ask me about. But yes, it's once you decide what it is that you want, the commitment piece is so incredibly important.
Well, you say that it's important to have a plan A and no plan B, right?
I do. And I didn't realize I was way out on the skinny branches when I declared that, actually.
Well, explain that, okay? Because most of us, we like to have a plan B, right? We like to have a fallback.
Yes. And so what's that about? Right? Why would you have a plan B if what you really want is the vision and the goal that you set from plan A? Now, we're told to have a plan B in case plan A doesn't work out, but I'm the child of plan A is the only plan. Like, if you don't have a plan B, if you don't have anyone to call to bail you out or tide you over or whatever that is, then plan A tends to work out. And that's where I came up with that philosophy, strategy.
Well, for me, the only reason I could see why you'd have a plan B is because you think there's a possibility plan A won't work, right? So you don't totally believe that it's possible.
Correct. So when you put, all of your, hands and feet and arms and legs in the boat and you row the boat's going where you row it. It might take you longer. It might cost more money. It might be more painful. You might cry more. You might bleed more. But if you are 100% committed, then you will get where you want to go. Or you will discover, as you made reference to at a different time, that you might discover where you thought you wanted to go isn't where you want to go. Mm. A lot of people say, I went to law school and then I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer. Or I went to medical school and then I realized I couldn't stand the sight of blood. So that was a problem. So I changed my course. Sometimes what we think we want, with more information, we determine that we don't actually want that outcome. However, that is different from, I would really like to do X, but I don't think that I deserve to do X. So I'm going to change my mind and settle for Y. Those are different.
Well, was it Julius Caesar that told his soldiers to burn the bridges, right, when they crossed the Rubicon?
Yep.
And he told them to burn the bridges because there's no turning back, right? Once you burn the bridge, there's no crossing back to the other side and escaping. At that point, then you have to learn to deal with it. You have to figure it out and move forward, correct?
Yes. And you will figure it out. There is some providence that steps in that will help you to find your way. You will meet the right people. You will discover the right website. You will come across the right piece of information. You will hear the right thing at the right time. And I've had it happen so many times, and I've seen it happen so many times. I know it for a fact. And I just kind of giggle every so often when I go, all right, well, this is the part where I know something's going to show up, and the phone will ring or I'll get an email. It's quite interesting. When you trust the process, when you trust the fact that you've made the right decision for yourself and you're moving forward and you just keep walking.
Why don't, I think I know the answer to this, but why don't more of us just commit and burn the bridge and go with plan A?
Because we're not told to only have plan A. I'm out here all by myself saying, me and Julius Caesar.
That's pretty good company.
I mean, well, he's not very helpful right now.
No.
So we can't conference him in. So we are told that if we have a plan A, but always have a plan B.
Yeah, that's kind of what our parents teach us our whole lives, right?
It is. That's what we are taught, to have a plan B. And so if no one says just burn the boats, burn the bridges, keep walking, then it is what we are taught societally. And how often do we intentionally go against society without at least hearing a little grief about it?
So is there a process to making this commitment, or is it just kind of a one-time decision and it's epiphany that happens and the light goes off and the bell, or what? Or is it a process we go through?
There is a bell, just like when an angel gets its wings. There's a bell, and then the bell rings every day.
See, that's the key.
There's a commitment. It is like looking at your goals every day and looking at the cheesecake and looking at the grilled chicken and saying, the grilled chicken is not sexy or exciting, but it is on the small butt program. And I am on the small butt program. Therefore, no cheesecake for me, at least today. Every day it's recommitting to what you are consciously and have consciously decided that you want.
So that every day I get up and go, this is what I'm choosing today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily always do it. Do you find that to be the case? I might get up and be all gung-ho, and then later on the day I find that myself, I fail myself.
I was so tired a couple of weeks ago on a Friday, and I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I do morning practices. I think you've had Hal Elrod, my business partner, on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm his business partner in the book series. And so he gets up at 3:30. So after I figured out that dog will not hunt, there's no 3 in my alarm. That does not work. So I decided on 4:30. 4:30 seems to work quite well for me. I get up at 4:30. I was so tired. I got up and put on my gym clothes, and I just kept thinking, maybe after I have breakfast, I will have the energy to go to the gym. Nope, that's going to be a nap. So I took a nap, and then I did my writing, and then I had an interview, and then maybe after the interview, I'm going to go to the gym. Nope. So I went the whole day with no shower in my gym clothes, just thinking somewhere that this magical burst of energy was going to overtake me, and it never did.
So, I mean, how do you deal with that? Do you just get up the next day and go back to it?
I did. Yep. Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, I don't know that it's simple or easy, but it was a choice that I made, because I could have said, I'm really tired on Friday. I certainly don't want to be tired on Saturday. So I'll just nap on Saturday.
Let's just make it a long weekend.
Let's just make it the 3-day weekend. Well, then the 3-day weekend could become a long week. And then, gosh, it's almost Thanksgiving. I might as well just not work out again until after the first of the year.
There you go, peeking over my shoulder again.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying is, it's like you can take it. I think sometimes someone will say, I had a donut for breakfast, therefore I've ruined the whole day. I might as well order a pizza for lunch and Chinese for dinner. And you know what I'm saying is, it's like we tend to take the one decision that we don't think we should make. We make it bad, and it's not bad. It just is a decision. We take that decision to eat the thing or not exercise or not make the follow-up call or whatever. And then we say, well, we've ruined it for the whole rest of whatever, or the rest of the day, the rest of the week, month, year. Right? There's some people that think that from Halloween until after the first of the year is just one holiday. So I can't work out during the holidays because I'm so busy. It's like, well, there's actually 5 holidays in there, give or take. And the rest of the time you're just screwing around.
Right. So we got to get up every morning and say, this is what I'm absolutely 100% committed to. There's no plan B. There's no turning back. This is what I want, and I'm going to go for it. Yeah. Yeah. And we say that every day.
Every day.
Do you recommend that I put stuff up to remind myself of that, or, on the post-it on the bathroom mirror or anything like that?
Oh, sure. So I have my affirmations in my shower, and I have the Evernote app on all of my devices, and in there is my affirmations, my vision, what I'm committed to achieving, my 100-day plan, and I review them. I have to consciously remind myself why I shouldn't just run away from home. Like, who cares? I work for myself. What is all this about? You can quit your life at any time, right?
Yeah.
So I remind myself of what it is that I decide that I want when I'm sane, not when I'm insane.
Exactly. And yeah, well, that makes a ton of sense. So again, I know you cover this in your book, and as I went through the book, it's just it's an easy read, it's an inspirational read, but it's a challenging read all at the same time, because it's going to challenge us to be better than we are. And for those of us who have not achieved our dreams, it's going to challenge us to, you know what, it's time to get my butt in gear and let's go for it.
It's one simple thing at a time every day.
Thank you, Honoree. I appreciate you being here. Looking forward to next time.
My pleasure. Me too. Thanks.
Honoree Corder, our guest today on the One Simple Thing podcast. Again, her book is called Vision to Reality. There's a link to it on our website. Just go to onesimplethingonline.com. You'll see the banner ad on the right-hand side of the page near the top. Click on it. It will take you to Amazon, where you can pick up your copy. Again, called Vision to Reality. As you commit to whatever the path is, right? You make a decision. You decide this is the right way for me to go, and then you sell out. You just say, you know what, I'm wholly invested with no plan B into what I feel like I'm led to do here. It's amazing the miracles that can start happening when you eliminate the temptation to turn back, right? You know what? I'd love for you to pick up a copy of Stephen Pressfield's book, Turning Pro. We have a few more copies of this book available. If you want to leave us a rating and review on iTunes, just take a screenshot of the review and email it to me, and I'll send you a copy of Stephen Pressfield's book, Turning Pro. My email address is dave@onesimplethingonline.com with the number 1 in there. Again, Dave at onesimplething.online.com. Email that screenshot to me, and I'll send you a copy of that book. Thank you for listening today to the One Simple Thing podcast. I'm Dave Kirby. I'll see you next time, you guys. Thanks for listening.